Welcome to round 3 of the Blue-White Familiars PauperLeague. Here we are on the play with a nice 7-card hand. Going to play an Evolving Wilds and pass the turn. It looks like our opponent is on the 5-color Tron, judging by their land choice, which might be a problem as I believe the 5-color Tron is probably the worst matchup of all the tier 1 decks there are at the moment. The only other worst matchup is land destruction. But let's see what we can do. Definitely fetching for planes, and we are for sure going straight up for the familiar. We need to play fast, try to get our combo going as fast as possible. It's not likely that the life we would have gained from God First Faithful would be any use in this matchup at all. And the worst case scenario has just happened. We're getting our familiar lightning bolted with their probably one-off bolt. But well, what can we do? Gonna fetch for an island first so that our preordained scry cards at the bottom don't get shuffled into the library. Sadly, we do not need neither of these cards. Mortuary Mire can at least rebuy us the familiar. Opponent developing their mana base. We're starting with the preordain because why not? And again, not quite the cards we need. Here we definitely want to hit 2 familiars as soon as possible and then start going off. Opponent seems like he's assembling his Tron on turn 4, which is definitely not a great sign for us. Here I'm playing out Deep Analysis and flashing it back for maximum chance to find the other familiar. Opponent getting back their Muldrifter with a pulse, setting up for pretty busted card draw. So we'll just Okodact and hope that he doesn't do anything to kill us next turn. But it looks like the worst case scenario has come to happen, as the opponent is playing their Capsize with buyback to start bouncing our lands, which again, one of the soft spots of this deck is the mana base if it gets disrupted, and that seems to be the case here. So we need to combo like this turn, or we probably won't be able to have enough mana for the rest of the game. Seagate finds us a snap, but that by itself does not do much, so we unfortunately have to pass the turn. And at this point, opponent is using more Capsizes on our lands correctly. If he wanted to hit our creatures, we could fizzle the Capsize via snap. That's also why we might want to find Ghostly Flicker to like flicker the land that's getting bounced so that we fizzle the Capsize buyback ability. But looks like we have no luck finding that one. Neither we find the second familiar, and at this point we're just getting our mana base completely destroyed. I figure we have a last turn to try to do something right now. So that's why I'm playing out the bounce land to maybe get some extra snap mana and try to find the second familiar and somehow combo off. Looks like we don't have that much luck with that. We did find the familiar, but don't have any more mana left, and now we're just out of mana for the rest of the game. So this is definitely a perfect showing for why the 5-color Tron is such a hard matchup for familiars. Of course, we could combat it by putting more dispels into the sideboard, or maybe even adding red for Pyroblasts. But that's not what we're on right now. We have some powerful tools against other decks, but I do have to admit that this leaves us a little soft to decks like 5-color Tron, which definitely comes to hurt us here. So this is it for game 1, and sadly I ran into some issues on Modo with replaying game 2, so I won't upload that one here, but I will spoil that I ended up losing that one also. I'm not saying this is an unwinnable matchup, but it's definitely a hard one and we just did not end up getting there. But hey, I'm still 2-1 in the league and advancing into round 4. Stick with me.